Dieses große Gebäude, das ist Hangar 1. Da fahren wir jetzt mal hin.
The coach party is welcome to what used to be RAF Gütersloh. Few of the passengers have ever been here before.
For decades, RAF Gütersloh was the closest station to the inner German border. Its quick reaction force charged with guarding against airborne incursion.
The British handed the site to the German authorities in 2016, but it's remained a restricted area. For decades, places like the immense hangar that housed Chinook helicopters were out of bounds. It's only since June last year that local people have been allowed in.
I was born in Gütersloh and I've always seen it from the outside, but I've never knew what was here inside, and it's now very interesting for me to see this place.
The experience has impressed me, says this man, especially discovering how people used to live here. Tours are advertised in the local press, but limited to 9 days a year.
Und das hat hier dann ab der Mitte der 70er Jahre bis zum Ende der Royal Air Force eben hier so stattgefunden.
Daniela Toman is one of the guides and says demand for tickets is extraordinary.
Diese Bustouren für Vereine.
Once the phone lines open, she says group bookings sell out within 30 minutes. Visits are always on a Saturday and individual tickets are usually gone in 4 hours.
Da dauert das meistens 4 Stunden und dann sind die Karten verkauft. Ich versichere Ihnen, Sie können hier nicht tief fallen.
There are certainly some hidden treasures in what began as a Luftwaffe base in the 1930s. They include a huge ground-level compass contraption from the time. Pilots would use it to set their own compasses. It's believed to be one of only 2 surviving examples. Hannu Peters is hoping to set up an airfield museum. He's looking for aircraft that actually flew from Gütersloh, and he's found some.
We got a lot of help out of the British community, the British military community. It's a bit like doing a Sherlock Holmes thing to find it.
The collection largely reflects Britain's 70-year presence in Gütersloh. Until a permanent site is chosen, exhibits are being stored in the former base's Hangar 6. A Hawker Hunter is now parked in the very same spot it occupied in the 1960s. All the aircraft need refurbishing, none more so than the RAF's first single-engine jet fighter, the Vampire. It was partly made of wood because of a shortage of raw materials after the Second World War. The only plane on display not to have flown from here is a Soviet-era Sukhoi 22 fast jet. People who once served at Gütersloh and then settled here now advise the museum team. Paul Curzon worked on Wessex helicopters in the early 1970s.
I think that they're doing a great job. The problem is it's all at the moment still it's a big question mark, because nobody seems to really know how's it going to go, what's actually going to happen.
It's not clear where a future airfield museum might be housed. The control tower had its roof blown off in a storm this year and seems an unlikely candidate. The same goes for the former officers' mess, which has suffered severe water damage. There's talk of establishing light industry on part of the ex-Army and RAF base, but 2/3 of the Gütersloh site is likely to be left to nature. More than 2 square kilometres of green space, undisturbed for 8 decades, contains rare plants. The runway is now where only birds take off and land. What is certainly being discussed is the continuation of the base coach tours. If demand is any guide, their future looks assured.